Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Ah, perfect. Perfect.
Okay.
Hi,
If
Danny. How are
everyone is
you?
here, doing great. What about you?
Good, thank you.
I think we're ready to go. Just waiting for Adam to set up all the permissions on his browser, but I think we can get everything rolling and started.
Perfect.
Can you all hear me? Hello.
Yes. Hello, guys. Thank you for making the time to meet up with me for this AMA. My name is Daniela Passos. I'm the Developer Relations and Community Manager on Hashnode. We are dedicated to empower developers, providing a platform to share knowledge, learn from others, and grow in their careers in the tech industry and compete in awesome hackathons such as MindsDB Hackathon. And we are starting a conversation in AMA with the MindsDB team for an exciting hackathon prep. And if you're still not participating of the MindsDB Hackathon on Hashnode, you have an opportunity to create an open source project or integrate MindsDB into an existing app to compete for a $5,000 prize and make a lasting impact in the world of machine learning. Now I'm going to do a round table for you all to introduce yourselves and let us know what you do at the MindsDB team. Zohan, do you want to get started?
Soren?
Soren, that's you.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Yeah. Hi, everyone. Thanks, Danny, for the introduction. So my name is Zoran. I'm working as a senior full stack engineer and a community lead here in MindsDB. So my day-to-day job is making sure all of the community members have all of their questions answered, helping people with their contributions to MindsDB and make their journey to our product easier. Nice to meet you, everyone.
Patricio?
All right.
Oh, sure. So hello, everyone in the audience. Thank you for being here. I'm Patricio. I'm one of the machine learning engineers at MindsDB. I have a master's in applied robotics with deep learning, and yeah, I've been here for close to 3 years now, doing essentially everything that's machine learning related, all the way from AutoML to the integrations that we have with other frameworks. So yeah, glad to be here.
Jorge?
Yeah, my name is Jorge Torres. I'm the CEO at MindsDB, and I'm super excited about this AMA and looking forward to your questions.
Chandra?
Hi, everyone. I'm Shande. I am the Community and Social Coordinator of MindsDB. My work entails dealing with all community queries, and I am the first person in line that all the community users contact, first point of contact also for all the social media followers. Thank you.
Adam?
Hey, everybody. I'm Adam Carrigan. I am the co-founder and chief operating officer of MindsDB. And as Jorge said, really excited to see what you will build and all the questions that you have. So please do ask us anything, as the name suggests. Ian.
Awesome.
And hello, everyone. My name is Ian. I'm from Australia, but live here in San Francisco Bay Area. I run MindsDB's in-person events in San Francisco. So would love to help anyone in the Bay get involved.
Awesome. Thank you. Starting with the round of questions, I would love to know how MindsDB makes it easier for developers to integrate machine learning into their application and projects.
Yeah, so we haven't finished that yet, but the objective is to continuously simplify the journey that a developer has to go through when they're building applications that involve machine learning. The approach that we've taken is making it very easy for them to plug any data to any ML framework. And we do this by virtue of integrations, so that if you need to plug any data source, you don't have to build a driver for it, you don't have to build abstractions for it. And then if you want to apply any machine learning capability, then we do it through the same abstraction of virtual tables called AI tables that allows you to see any model as a machine learning table or as a table in the database. And then this abstraction and simplification is very flexible, allows you to combine multiple data sources with multiple machine learning approaches. And we continue to expand this way. And a lot of this hackathon is to make it easier for people to plug more data. And I think that to apply machine learning to other data problems. At the end, you need to use data as the main ingredient of machine learning. But after you use machine learning, the output of machine learning has to also go back into a system. And these integrations allow you to do that, exactly that.
Perfect. Thank you for the answer. And following by that, I would love to learn what are some innovative ways developers can use MindsDB features to create unique machine learning powered platforms.
Yeah, I think that the every application that exists today will be reinvented with an AI machine learning approach, like email, calendars, CRMs, ERPs, um, and and the way to do this is by being able to have it native to where this data exists. Um, Through this hackathon, we've seen very interesting approaches. For instance, there's an article that was posted 2 days ago about people doing sentiment analysis on Reddit to do like recommendations of movies and to search for, what are the trends on the things that people talk about on Reddit. Um, and they can do now, thanks to that integration, this type of applications with a few lines of code. I think that my message here is the opportunities are almost just limited to the amount of integrations that we have. And right now, there's another 140 integrations being written and contributed to. So the more we expand that ecosystem, the more flexibility people will have to reinvent the way that most applications of today are being defined with an AI-centric approach.
Interesting. Would you say that most applications being built now by the community, either the hackathon or not, are being focused on social and social responses and social sentiment in general?
Not necessarily. I think that community is taking this in very different directions. It's more into, okay, there's this platform that has data, or there's this database where I contain my data. How can I extract this data to do some sort of machine learning? And then I think that what closes the loop is how can I then take the output of that machine learning and put it somewhere else where it's needed, either the same system, the social system, or some database for further analysis or for further applications.
Nice. Okay. Uh, what would you say they are the key features, frameworks, and tools available right now on MindsDB for developers to build with?
Yeah, I can take this one. So I think based on, or rather reinforcing what Jorge was saying, we have a lot of effort put into writing integrations to essentially three different things, right? So we've got databases, or data sources, really, but they can be the typical database or an application like Twitter or Reddit, as Jorge was saying. So those are on the, you could say, on one side of the equation, the other side being the machine learning frameworks that we integrate, right? So MindsDB enables you to sort of mix and match the preferred data sources with your machine learning framework in a way that's simpler. So that's probably the main feature in terms of accessibility and just enabling people to use their favorite tools. Now, on top of that, we have let's say a set of primitives that enable you to simplify the machine learning sort of pipeline, the typical one that your developer would normally go through, so that essentially at the end you're able to automate this with little to no code or queries. And essentially the tools we have there would be things like the ability to easily query a model, to easily retrain a model, or perhaps fine tune it, check like what the accuracy or any given metric is with some portion of your data, and then once you're ready to move this into production for good, you're able to encapsulate all of this in a sort of a job. That's sort of the terminology we're using, that enables you to kind of forget about the model, just let it do its own thing. And a perfect example would be the Twitter bot that we built, which is just another job. It's living out there. It's replying to people all the time, and that's, I think, a great example of the fun things you can build with MindsDB. Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you for the answer, Patricio. Can you share some more of some successful use cases or projects that have been built using MindsDB, either being part of the hackathon or not, and how they benefited for implementing machine learning into their applications?
Yeah, so I think I can talk about two here. One is kind of an extension of what Patricia was talking about. So we built a chatbot called Snoopstein, and you can check it out by going to Twitter and Snoop_Stein. It's a chatbot that's built with GPT-4. We built it, in a very short period of time, and launched it out there, and it's out there running. You can interact with it now. We also have a companion article to help you build your own Twitter bot or chat bot with its own unique personality. The personality we went with is a combination of Einstein and Snoop Dogg. And so when you visit the Twitter page, you'll see what I mean. And the responses are very cool, if you ask me. So that's one, that's just a fun use case that you can use MindsDB for. And as I said, very short period of time to build it. It uses kind of the whole range of tools that we offer, all the way from the integration with Twitter, integrating with GPT-4, being able to run jobs and do this on an ongoing basis without any human interaction. Right, this is kind of operating in the background without anyone monitoring or maintaining it. The other good example is a customer that is actually on our website. We have a couple of use cases on there. Demusa, they're a company that's been using MindsDB for a little while now. Prior to MindsDB, they had just been using pretty basic decision trees to determine when they take payments for rent for individuals. A very unsexy topic, but just goes to show that not everything in AI is super sexy, despite what the media will portray at the moment. But they're saving hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars every year by improving the accuracy of what previously was a very simplistic model. And this is all built on top of MindsDB. And they've grown with us. There was a lot of manual processes that they had initially, and now that whole process for them is completely automated. So there is literally the sky is the limit when it comes to what you can do with machine learning and what you can do with MindsDB, because as the team has already discussed, we integrate with all of the data sources on one side and all of the different machine learning frameworks on the other. So the sky's the limits, and your imagination is the limit, I guess.
That's awesome.
I honestly think that saving hundreds of thousands of dollars is pretty sexy as a machine.
That's probably true. Yeah, for them certainly.
For sure, there are two sides of it, as in everything. What you guys would say that right now are industries that can be seen as the most impacted by integration of machine learning in the coming years, whether that is on social side or collecting rate and payments and all that? What would you say that can be impacted in the shorter amount of time?
Yeah, I think there's impact can be both positive and negative, right? And I'm sure a lot of people have seen the kind of the negative implications of AI taking people's jobs. But the positive impact is that things become more efficient. If you look at the amazing things that have been built just in the last few weeks on top of GPT-4, and then if you think about what that will look like in the coming years, it's hard to fathom what that will look like. And I think unlike many of the kind of technological advances that have happened, it's going to impact different industries and different individuals. Unknown is my answer. I think the team probably has some other insights, but I think all industries are going to be impacted in different ways and to different levels. Jorge, Patricia, Zoran, anyone like to add? No? Okay.
No, I would just reinforce what you said. I think it's probably like an opportunity to sort of for people to try and reinvent themselves to be even more productive. But it's tough to say how that's going to look like exactly because of the sheer pace of the field. Yeah.
For sure. I have been seeing a lot of impact, and especially in the admin world, let's say like uh, contracts, lawyers, all of that, like where there is heavy documentation and a lot of research process. So that has been pretty impacted lately and made individuals and lawyers, doctors way more impacted lately. So that has been a pretty interesting use case that I'm seeing. So looking forward to seeing what else is going to be built for the social side, governments, health, and all of those industries.
Even on the
Olaf,
creative side, right? There's
yes,
obviously GPT-4 is most of the attention has been around the language side of things, but there's amazing tools that allow you to create artwork, for example. So it's not just certainly the administrative fields are impacted, but the creative fields also have this amazing opportunity as well.
for sure. I'm seeing a lot of tasks being automated, a lot of creative and job requirements in general being changed, especially for new roles being created. So that's been pretty interesting. And I'm curious to see what's going to happen next in terms of new jobs, workforce, and productivity. So it's a pretty interesting use case for sure. Um, I would love to know what resources and support are available for participants during the MindsDB Hackathon to help them learn and build effectively. You've mentioned that we have over 100 use cases and app integrations to be built. So I would love to know from you guys what is the best way for hackers to get started.
Yeah, I can
I think
answer
Zara.
that one.
Oh, Chandra.
Yeah. Hackathon participants are able to make use of resources like MindsDB's documentation, GitHub docs, and examples that are available. They can join our MindsDB Slack community where they will receive support from the MindsDB team and community as well. So if they have any questions or they need just to be directed to documentation, Zoran and I will be the first responders to be able to assist them, and as well as our engineering team. If there's any technical issues that we are unable to solve, the engineering team will be available to solve that for them. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Chandra. Can you guys share some tips and best practices for participants, developers looking to make their projects stand out during the MindsDB Hackathon?
Yeah, so I think one good policy here is that you sort of double down on your interests, because people are really unique and they have really unique interests all the time. So if you sort of merge or do like a combination of them, chances that someone else is doing the exact same thing are low. Like, let's say, I don't know, you love traveling and you love something else. If you combine those passions and try to sort of get a machine learning project out of that, it can definitely stand out just on the premise alone. And then in terms of what to use whatever integration you feel resonates the most with your use case. We're trying to make them all simple to use. In particular, for machine learning models, perhaps one recommendation would be try to use large language models first, just because they're so fun to use. And then also you don't necessarily have to know some concepts that machine learning, sort of defines as basic. But if you're like rather new to the field, you won't know. And to do that transition to get there, just ask us in the community Slack, because we're there all the time. We love helping people to understand what they want to build. And if they're missing some steps along the way, we're happy to just point you in the right direction in terms of resources, or even just like a friendly conversation to get you there. So I think, yeah, those are like the first tips that come to mind, at least in my case. I'm not sure if anyone else has some, but yeah.
Yeah, and one important thing that we always mention, or we are saying to our contributors, is that you can ask as many questions as you like. So there are no like sort of weird or wrong questions. So we're here to help you and learn from each other. So any question that is shared by our community members is very valuable, and everyone are more than happy to help and guide you solving those questions.
Awesome. Thank you. After the hackathon, what is the best way for participants, developers, teams to continue to contribute to the MindsDB community and stay involved with the community after it?
Yeah, so as everyone know, we are open source project. So if you go to our GitHub repository, you will find a lot of open issues where our core team is working, but we have also additionally help wanted issues where most of our contributors are working on. Also, we are one of the open source projects where we give options for different types of contributions in the repository. So it's not that only quite skillful or quite technical people can contribute to MindsDB itself, but also we have a lot of open issues for improving documentation, which like our documentation is quite important to our community and to our users. So we post a lot of open issues for contributors to help us improving our documentation, build new documentation. Also the tutorials part and the video tutorials. So when new people are starting to use our project or product, we share a lot of the community built tutorials and video tutorials itself. So most of our community members also help us with writing those tutorials, with recording video tutorials. And then there is a portion of helping us to help to maintain and also keep MindsDB stable, which means there are like a lot of manual quality issues where people are just testing if some of our integration is fully functional or trying something, playing around with different databases and helping us to identify if there are some potential bugs. So if you join to our GitHub, if you find MindsDB, you will find a lot of different issues that you are able to contribute to, from the technical, from the fixing bugs, adding new features to MindsDB, improving our documentation, writing about MindsDB. So there are like a lot of things where our community and our contributors can help us with.
Perfect. Thank you. I would love to know, as a closing question from the Hashnode team, what is the most important piece of advice you would like to give to hackathon participants for a successful, fun, and enjoyable experience?
Yeah, I think.
Sorry. I think we've all got probably answers here. I'll go first, and then Zoran. I think one, as you mentioned there, Danny, is to have fun. That's one of the main reasons that we're doing this, is that we see what cool things that come out of it. But I think the other is, build something that you think is useful to you. Because if you find it useful, then there is a very high likelihood that other people will find it useful. Trying to solve your own problem or a problem that you have is a great way to start, because it's very likely that other people are suffering from that same problem. So that's a good place to start, I would say. Zara.
Yep, thanks, Adam. Yeah, and one important thing that I wanted to point out, and I'm mentioning to our contributors, is to collaborate. So we always think that like a teamwork is like the key in the hackathon. So if you leverage each team's strengths and you ask for help and you share ideas with others, I think you will achieve a lot of, or you can build a lot of interesting things in this hackathon, but also in any other hackathon that you will participate. And also one important thing is that you should be open to learning. So hackathons are a great opportunity to learn and grow, and you should experience with new technologies and get like an awesome learning experience from it.
Anyone else? No? Let me see if we have any questions here in the YouTube chat. Okay, I think we're good. Well, thank you guys for making time to join me for this AMA. Loved your answers and super excited to see what our developers will be building with the MindsDB integrations and the tech. And if you're still not participating of the MindsDB Hackathon, head to hashnode.com/hackathon/MindsDB. We have 10K up for grabs for the best hacks using MindsDB integrations. And the winner takes home $5,000 and a lot of cool swag. So we're looking forward to receiving all of your projects and blog posts and hearing feedback from the community on how it was to build with the MindsDB team. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.